Page 17, Enharmonic Notes Part 1. And of course we came across this word earlier and I made you write the definition, but here it is, and you just had to know that earlier. So here it is again. In music there are many notes that have more than one name. Enharmonic, you need to know it. Notes sound the same but are spelled differently. And if you remember a few pages back, we had two pianos, and one was on the left and one was on the right. And on the left we had flats and on the right we had sharps. This one actually shows, this piano keyboard here shows both of them the same. Here's C sharp and D flat, and they're both on the same exact piano key. Now if you look in your fingering chart, you will discover that C sharp and D flat are also the same thing, and you might have multiple fingerings for them. That doesn't mean that there is a different fingering for C sharp than there is for D flat. It means that you have different options available to you to play that C sharp or D flat. Okay? And the same goes with any of the black keys, including E flat and D sharp, G flat and F sharp, A flat and G sharp, B flat and A sharp. So they sound the same, but they are spelled differently. If you look at a piano keyboard, you will see that D sharp and E flat are played with the same key. And of course, we can't see that on wind instruments. You certainly can on a percussion mallet keyboard instrument or a piano. But we can't on a wind instrument such as a flute, a clarinet, a trumpet, etc. So we have to keep this in mind, and really this is why every musician really probably at some point should learn the piano. Number one, use a quarter note to write in the enharmonic equivalent of the given note. So the first one's been done for us, and these are all bass clef examples, so be aware of that. Good boys do fine always, and all cows eat grass. Keep that in mind, and sometimes you're going to have ledger lines, so you're going to have to remember how to do that. First one's been done for us. F sharp is the same as G flat. Notice if it's sharp, you go up a note and then you put a flat. Okay? And the same is going to be true down here. You'll actually go down a note and you'll probably put a sharp. So the first thing I want you to do is write the note name underneath it. Those two notes are enharmonic equivalents, and you can see that by looking at your keyboard. F sharp is the same as G flat. This next one, if the bottom line is G, then we have F in the first bass. E flat is going to be on the first ledger line. So we're going to write E flat, and we have to go down a note to make D sharp is the note that we're going to look for. And you have to remember how your stems work. They go up from here, put a sharp to the left of it, and then write D sharp. Make sure that your letters are spelled like you would say, and when you write the notes, that you put it to the left. Next one, that is not B flat because we're still in bass clef. D flat is the same as, there it is. So we need to find all cows. And from here we go up with our lines. And we want C sharp. So we'll write D flat, C sharp. Next one, we already did this one. That looks familiar. G flat is the same as F sharp, so all we got to do is this. This one's the first ledger line above. All cows, or A, B, C, so this is C sharp. We're looking for D flat, which D is up one note, so we know it's going to be on top of the first ledger line, and we need to put a flat next to it. Stem goes down because of how high it is. It's on the third line or above. There you go. And the last one, G sharp is the same as, that's right, A flat. Number two, put a check next to number one. Be careful here, number two is the same thing, but now we're in treble clef land. So if you're a bass clef player, guess what? You still have to do both. We have D flat. We know that's going to be the same as C sharp, as you can see in your chart above. F-A-C, face it down, put a sharp, write the note name. Number two, every good boy does fine, G egg, that is an A sharp. So we are looking for, and let's look at your keyboard, B flat. Let's go back down here. We're going to write B flat this time. And we want it to sound the same. We can't draw it down here because that would be an octave below. We can't draw it on the third line. We have to go up above the staff. So we're going to go up and then put a flat next to it. Add your stem. This is my quarter notes. I basically just draw a sideways slant. It does the same, it works. Okay, A flat. Look at your keyboard, same as. There it is, G sharp. So we're looking for a G sharp. And we know it needs to be close. So if the flat is pointing down, we need to go down. Put a sharp next to it. G sharp. There you go. Next one, F sharp is the same as G flat. Every good. So we'll put it here. Stem goes up because it's on the second spacer below. And add your flat symbol to the left. Notice they point towards each other. D flat is the same as C sharp. So we're going to write C sharp here. And it can't be this one, that's way off course. So we have to draw it down below the staff. We're going to add a ledger line. Put a sharp next to it. There you go. The last one, D sharp, is the same as, let's come up here, E flat. Put your flat sign next to it, write E flat. Okay, the next two you can do on your own. This will be a good spot for me to check to make sure you're doing your homework. So we have treble clef on this one. You're going to do the same. Use a quarter note to write in the enharmonic equivalent of the given note. When you're done with that, put a check next to it. Number 4, it's in bass clef. Do the same. Put a check next to it when you're done. Number 5, this is the first part of a familiar song written with many enharmonic notes. Identify the song and write the name here. Well, let's hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna have to play it for you. But first we need to write our note names. F sharp, notice we're in treble clef. F flat, D, E, all capital letters, G flat, F sharp. This is going to be F sharp because of the worksheet we learned earlier. And I'm going to carry that just like that. E, F flat, E, G flat, A. All right, looks pretty weird to me. Let's see what it sounds like. And then you can figure out the name of the piece. So this is the bottom one. I'm going to walk over to the piano and I'll give it a go. I might mess up. It's kind of hard to read from here. Let's see. That's going to be our first note. Another name for F flat is E natural because there's no black key between them. 1 and 2 and here I go. Here's E natural. F flat, same as E natural. I wonder what that is. I would recommend you check out Melody Practice 1 and write the name of that piece there. That sounds familiar. It's just written bizarrely because of all of the enharmonic equivalents, all of the accidentals. And that's it.